Hello, my name is Father Jim McGuinn and I'm the rector here at the Malvern Retreat House. In our previous video, we looked at the schedule that has been used for the 2019 retreat year, and now we're going to take a look at the new schedule for the 2020 retreat year. 5 o'clock is registration, but notice that it's in the dining room. It will always be in the dining room unless there's an exception. 6:30 is dinner and welcome. And then we have a little bit more time after the dinner. The first session is at 7:45, session 1, and the first part of that session is the introduction. So the retreat director, the captain's team will be introduced. Also the prefects, the theme of the retreat, and the various topics that are going to be covered. And that's going to be a little bit more of an upbeat experience as we begin our retreat. Then the conference will follow after that by the retreat director. What we've done now is we have a break at 9 o'clock, and we're trying to add in some breaks after each one of the activities on the retreat, just to allow people to breathe a bit. Also, you'll notice that at 9:15, Mass is going to be held in the chapel, Our Lady's Chapel, or it could be St. Joseph's Chapel if this retreat is being held in St. Joseph's Hall. As you know, if it's a very, very large group, the Masses will be held in Upper McShane. At 10 o'clock, there's refreshments. We're going to try having refreshments Friday night as well as Saturday night. There'll always be coffee and Danish, but also some soft pretzels, iced tea, lemonade, and things like that. There's an open AA meeting at 10 o'clock, and then at 10 o'clock the exposition begins in the oratories. We'll go now to Saturday morning. At Saturday morning, there will be nobody knocking at anyone's door at 7 o'clock or 7:20, so people will rise on their own. At 7:30, there's morning prayer with the Angelus, and this will be held in the chapel. Again, if it's a large retreat group, in Upper McShane. 7:50 is prayer at the flag outside of the dining room. And then 8 o'clock is breakfast with the President's remarks. Now there's also more time for breakfast, and session 2 begins a little later. At 9:15, session 2 begins in Upper McShane. There's a break at 10:15, and that allows people to walk over to the chapel for the 10:30 reconciliation service with confessions. Those confessions will be held over in the chapel and in the libraries. 12:15 is lunch, and at 1:15 we have free time or the guest speaker. The guest speaker will be handling any questions or answers, period. 2:30 is a break, and 3 o'clock is Mass. We're going to have the new retreat and ceremony at the 3 o'clock Mass on Saturday. The new retreat and ceremony will take place immediately after the homily, and at the end of Mass we're going to expose the Blessed Sacrament. This is something new for this year. People are free to stay in the chapel for an hour or leave and come back. At 4 o'clock there's free time or the way of the cross, and the location is to be determined. At 5 o'clock we repose the Blessed Sacrament, and then at 6 o'clock there's dinner. That's followed by 7 o'clock Rosary, and 7:45 is session 3. That's going to be held in Upper McShane. Like I said earlier, there's a break at 9 o'clock, and that will allow people to go over to the chapel. 9:15 is night prayer, and that's when we have exposition and benediction, and we bring our day to a close. 9:45 is refreshments in Lower McShane, and we're having an open AA meeting at 10 o'clock Saturday night as well. Now let's take a look finally at Sunday morning. Sunday morning follows Saturday morning. There's rising on your own, and the Angelus has been combined with morning prayer in the chapel. So 7:30 is morning prayer with Angelus in the chapel. 7:50 is prayer at the flag. This is always optional, outside the dining room. 8 o'clock is breakfast, and we will not be filling out the survey Sunday morning at breakfast. Instead, we're going to be filling out the survey at dinner on Saturday night. We're hoping this will have a better response. The first session is 9:15 Sunday morning. Gives people a little bit more time to pack, bring the bags out to their cars, relax a little bit, and that will be a wrap-up. And at 10:15 there's a break, and 10:30 is the Mass over in the chapel, or once again, if it's a very large group, then the Mass will be 10:30 in Upper McShane. Thanks very much. What we're now going to do, for those people who were on the pilot retreat, is to take a look at the adjusted pilot retreat for the 2020 retreat year.